Long time ago, in a city that could be anywhere, there lived a man named Marcus. He was 52 years old, and if you passed him on the street, you wouldn't look twice. He was ordinary, invisible, just another face in the crowd. For 30 years, Marcus had worked the same job at the same warehouse, same route to work, same lunch spot, same life day after day, year after year. His hands were strong from decades of lifting boxes, but there was something else about those hands, something most people never saw. Every lunch break, Marcus would sit alone on a bench behind the warehouse, and he would draw. His notebook was filled with places he'd never been. Paris, the cafes along the Seine, street musicians and flower markets, Tokyo's neon lights and cherry blossoms, ancient temples next to modern towers, the northern lights dancing over frozen mountains, places he'd only seen in magazines and travel shows. One day, a newer coworker named Jake walked by. He stopped when he saw what Marcus was drawing. "Whoa," Jake said, leaning in. "You an artist? These are incredible." Marcus quickly closed the notebook, embarrassed. "No, just killing time. It's nothing." But Jake sat down beside him. "Nothing? Man, you've got real talent. You should do something with this. Travel to these places. Live a little." Marcus gave a small, tired smile. "Maybe someday, when I retire, when I have time, when I've saved enough." Jake laughed. "Someday? Come on, man. How long you gonna wait?" Marcus didn't answer, because the truth was he'd been waiting his whole life. In his 20s, Marcus told himself he'd travel after he got established in his career. In his 30s, he'd wanted to learn guitar, but he was too busy. He'd do it later, when work calmed down. In his 40s, he'd meant to call his son. They'd had a falling out years before, but Marcus kept waiting for the right moment, the right words. That moment never came. Now he was 52. His apartment was filled with travel brochures he'd collected for 20 years, a guitar that had never been played, gathering dust in the corner. And in a drawer, letters he'd written to his son but never sent. His bank account was full. Decades of savings, for retirement, for someday, for a future that always felt just out of reach. The following Monday, Jake didn't show up to work. His station sat empty. Tuesday, Wednesday, still no Jake. On Friday, Marcus asked the supervisor. The man's face went dark. "You didn't hear? Jake had a heart attack, massive one. He didn't make it." Marcus felt the floor drop out from under him. "What? When?" "Sunday night. He was just watching TV with his family. Gone before the ambulance arrived. He was only 49. Marcus went to the funeral. He'd barely known Jake, just a few conversations over lunch. But he had to go. Had to see. Jake's wife stood by the casket, barely holding herself together. Friends and family surrounded her, but she looked utterly alone. Then Jake's daughter stood up to speak. She was maybe 16. She held a crumpled piece of paper, a letter she'd been writing to her dad but never finished. Her voice cracked as she read. Her dad had always said they'd go camping next summer. Every year, next summer. He'd promised to build that tree house in the backyard when he had time. He'd said he would teach her guitar someday. She couldn't continue. She looked up, tears streaming down her face. Someday never came. And now it never would. Marcus felt like someone had driven a fist into his chest. He couldn't breathe. That night, Marcus walked into his apartment and really looked at it for the first time in years. Travel brochures everywhere, Paris, Rome, Japan, all yellowed with age. Some were 15 years old, the guitar in the corner covered in dust. He'd bought it 12 years ago. He opened the drawer with the unsent letters. 7 years of letters, 7 years of "I'll send it when the time is right." Marcus sat down and put his head in his hands. Jake's daughter's words echoed in his mind. Someday never came. He picked up a photo of his son. The boy, not a boy anymore, a man now, smiled back at him from 10 years ago, before everything fell apart. With shaking hands, Marcus picked up his phone. He hadn't called in 7 years, 7 years of waiting for courage he never found. It rang and rang, then voicemail. His son's voice, brief and formal. "Leave a message." Marcus's voice broke. "Hey, it's Dad. I know it's been a long time. Too long. I kept thinking I'd call when I had the right words, when I was ready, when..." He stopped, crying now. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I waited. I love you. I've always loved you, and I don't want to wait anymore. Please, please call me back." He hung up, sat in silence, and then something shifted inside him, a decision forming like a storm. By sunrise, Marcus had made his choice. He opened his laptop and booked a flight. Paris, leaving in 3 days. He withdrew money from his savings account, money he'd been hoarding for 30 years. Monday morning, he walked into his supervisor's office. "I need to talk to you. I'm taking time off. Extended leave. I don't know when I'm coming back." His boss stared at him. "What? You're quitting? After 30 years?" "No," Marcus said quietly. "I'm starting. I'm 52 years old, and I just realized I've been waiting for permission to live my own life. My coworker, Jake, died at 49. He never got his someday. What makes me think I'll get mine?" 3 days later, Marcus stood in his apartment with a single suitcase. Inside, some clothes, his passport, and his worn notebook. At the airport, his hands shook as he held his boarding pass. He was terrified, but he was going. As the plane took off, Marcus watched his city disappear below. Everything he'd known for 52 years, getting smaller and smaller. Paris hit him like a dream. The streets he'd only drawn. The cafes he'd only imagined. They were real. He was really here. He found a small cafe near the Seine and sat down to sketch. But this time he wasn't drawing from imagination. He was drawing what he saw, what he was finally living. His phone rang. His heart stopped. His son's name on the screen. He answered, voice shaking. "Hello? Dad?" His son's voice, cautious. "I got your message. Are you okay?" Marcus laughed, crying. Yeah, I think maybe I finally am. I'm in Paris." "Paris? What? Since when do you..." "Since 3 days ago. I couldn't wait anymore." They talked for an hour, and then they kept talking. Weekly calls, then twice a week. 7 years of silence, slowly healing. Marcus stayed in Paris for a month, then traveled to Rome, then Barcelona. Each place he sketched, each place he lived. He even bought a guitar in Barcelona. Started taking lessons from a street musician. His fingers fumbled at first, but he didn't care. He was finally doing it. 3 months after he left, Marcus sat in that same Parisian cafe. His notebook was nearly full now, filled with real memories, real places, real life. His phone rang. His son. "Hey, Dad, how's Paris treating you?" Marcus looked around, at the people, the music, the light. "It's treating me well. Really well. So, when are you coming back?" Marcus paused, thought about his old apartment, his old life. That warehouse where he'd spent 30 years waiting. I don't know. Maybe never. Maybe I'll come visit you instead. You still in Seattle? His son laughed, a sound Marcus hadn't heard in 7 years. Yeah, I'm still here. I'd really like that, Dad. Me too. How's next month? I've waited long enough, don't you think? Yeah, Dad, you have. Marcus hung up and closed his notebook. He caught his reflection in the cafe window. He looked older, tired, but something was different in his eyes. He looked alive, really alive. For the first time in decades, we tell ourselves someday because it feels safer than today. Someday we'll chase our dreams. Someday we'll fix what's broken. Someday we'll truly live. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Someday is a promise we might never get to keep. Jake never got his someday, and for 52 years neither did Marcus. The only day that's guaranteed is this one. Right now. Today. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Stop saving your life for some magical future that may never come. Someday never comes. But today is here. And it's all we've ever really had.